That's why I believe that no political party will defeat President Barrow in 2026 elections. I mean, the Grand Alliance, fundamentally because the critical elements are being properly taken care of by this government. Now, let's go to sector by sector. First, we go to the education sector. This country is experiencing an education revolution. I mean, thousands of classrooms have been built at the lower level using the bottleneck. In other words, when you go to the rural world in particular, even in the urban areas, students now have an opportunity, parents have an opportunity to send their children within walking distance. There are schools, there are communities that have to walk 2 to 3 to 4 miles to get to school. In the past, that has been eliminated. Every Gambian child has an opportunity to go to a school in your own neighborhood. No longer passing through forests or trees or dark corners. Now, every Gambian child has an opportunity to go to school in safety. All over the country, thousands of classrooms have been built. This is a game changer. When you come to tertiary education, particularly university education, just recently, I would even say today, USEN experienced their first graduate. So we have an education explosion in this country, from primary all the way to the tertiary. And education really changes a country. So this country is on a massive transformation in terms of skills, in terms of potential and education, in terms of, this is all about youth empowerment. It's about building the future of this country. Now, when you come to health, suddenly we can debate about quality. It is there. We can debate about equipment, machinery, technology. All these things are challenges. I admit they exist, but they have been over-exaggerated. We are seeing all over the country construction of healthcare facilities or renovation of new ones. Suddenly there are still challenges. That is not to say there are no challenges. Every nation is facing challenge. And these are challenges also mostly inherited. There are legacy challenges, but government is working on them. It is not that nothing is being done. Something is being drastically done every day to improve quality. When you talk about energy, we are going to achieve 90% energy penetration in this country. That is a revolution. It's unprecedented, in the history of the Gambia and in the developing world. So by the end of 2025, 90% of the Gambia will be fully electrified. Energy is a game changer. It is a critical enabler for development and for economic transformation. So we are in the verge of. There is a lot of clamor about increase in food and bread prices. It's quite understandable. Families are hurting. Every community is affected because bread is a very important part of our food system in the Gambia. But we need to understand one thing, and that is very important to understand, because this issue of bread price increase is being over politicized and over exaggerated by critics from different areas. It is not a reflection of mismanagement of our economy. We must understand that the Gambia is fundamentally an import-driven economy. Almost everything that we consume here, consumer prices, everything we consume comes from another country. We are fundamentally influenced by external price. For example, bread. What goes into bread is wheat. There is a global tensions at the moment. There is Iran, there's Iran and Israel happening. There is Russia and Ukraine war, and flour. Flour is a very important aspect of all these things. So when global prices go up, flour in particular, which is not produced in this country, it is bound to affect bread prices all over the world. It's not just the Gambia. There is an increase of bread prices all over the world. It's a miracle that for all these years, since the Ukraine-Russia war started, we have struggled to maintain stability in this sector. So it is not about government mismanagement of the economy. It is about what is happening around the world. Flour is important. It is not produced in the Gambia. And we need to import this. So therefore, the changes in international market prices is going to adversely impact what happens in the country. So it is not about the Gambia government. This is about international trade. We need to understand that now. Bread prices will go up because the price of wheat has gone up in the global market due to tensions, due to all these factors. And secondly, Gambia government does not control what happens with global market price. Gambia government does not control global shipping prices. Gambia government does not control what happens to the forest market internationally. All these things are very vital economic factors, that influence international price, which have direct impact on our local price. So we need to understand that. And I'm affected too. My family members are affected all over the country. I have friends, I have neighbors who are affected. We are all affected by this, but this is an international problem, and we must not politicize it in order to score cheap political points. Let us be realistic and be truthful on some of these issues. It is not about the Gambia government's and management of economy. It is about global market price. That is the whole issue.